I got a lip balm. It is the trippiest thing. I had a cold sore.
Oh, really?
I've never had a cold sore in my whole life. I'm 48 years old. I have had a couple of last straw moments, though.
Small ones?
Well, yeah, it's right here. It's right. Oh, I don't have my production light. Where's that grip? Get a grip, Marge. Where's that assistant? She's fired. She sucks. I got my little lanterns. They're charged by the sun. Mom thinks I'm super cute just because I have her face. What? Somebody's feeling Gemini. The full moon today in Gemini. See, what a difference a day makes. I did a talk last night, Ma. Confounded. Who just walked that away? 1, 2, 3, head count. Marty. Hi, babies. I love you the most. Okay, we got 1, we got 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're all right there. All present and accounted for. I did a talk last night. I didn't even want to do a talk. I knew I was not, my thoughts were not connecting. I was all over the place. I knew it was not going to be a good talk. I'm trying to be consistent. So I went ahead and I did a talk. Just so, because I don't do I do these for me because it gets, like, I get to process things here, you know? And I get other people's energy that are watching me. We connect. I don't need to know who you are. I connect with you, and then oftentimes I say things that other people can relate to, and I'm not even sure why I'm saying it. But then it's something for them, right? Yeah. So I got a comment today. It was a really cool comment. The link in the video or in my chat, if anybody's there, if you want to open that in a different, that's the song I'm listening to right now. So I don't have to play it and get a copyright infringement. If you want to listen to what I'll listen to every now and again, I'm going to try and do that. I'll just try and put whatever song I'm listening to in the link, and if people can. That's a good idea. I got workarounds. Anyway, I got workarounds. I do. So I got this comment earlier today from somebody because usually people are so self-conscious that they're just like, I can't do a talk tonight. I'm not going to embarrass myself and make myself look bad. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka empath. I don't care. I don't get embarrassed. So embarrassment is for other people, not for me. I've had to do too many things that a lot of people would be like, dude, that's really embarrassing. No, it's just life. It's just another freaking craptastic situation that you get to go through. So anyway, the song is Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. I've liked this song for a long time.
Where's that magnetic?
Zeros. So this is the comment I got earlier today. And I like when people are inquisitive and come see about me and what my channel is. Okay, I'm going to preface this comment by saying that. Hi, I've seen your comment on Crystal Times vids and possibly one or two others, because I don't really comment a lot. I do say thank you, a Heoka. That's all I say, mostly. And I think that is neat that people are like, I wonder what this chick is about, just based on that. And then they come and see what I'm about and see. Because I don't, like, because sometimes I feel compelled to let people know that I talk about feelings, and people need to really start getting in touch with their feelings, because they're just going to get more and more of them, not less and less. Because the stuff that gets you less and less also gets you dead and dead. So Anyway, hi. Yeah. Hi. Okay, so where I lost my place. I don't know you, but this video made me feel like I do. You are a warrior. Sorry for the cliche, but it's short and to the point, and it fits. Like me. I'm short and to the point. I don't fit, though. That's for sure. You get me? I even cry because I've had those days, too. Weird sync. My husband passed away this year, 30 plus years together. Because I was talking in my video last night about how there's been so much loss. Like, the world is heavy with grief. Yeah. So, and she goes on to say, I'm grateful regardless. Being an adult, overrated. He was military. If you can, don't take the pills. Because I was also thinking, I got lab works done today. I'm like, maybe, because that's the thing, is like, I can always break back and be 3D. I just got to take those pills. And I'll just, but that last time they gave me pills at the VA, it changed my chemistry and my way of thinking, and it's taken a lot to come back from that. So I don't really want to take the pills, so her confirming that, and I talked to I don't get a doctor no more. I'll talk to a physician's assistant on the phone tomorrow morning, and I'm probably, this is going to be fun. So where'd you go to school? I'm going to ask them questions too. Because if you're talking about dealing with my health, I just want to make sure you're not a fucking idiot. That I don't know more than you. That's all. So, it's not too much of a prerequisite for my health. I'm going to ask them if they're fit. Maybe we should have a video chat. Drop and give me 20. Not so Sarge Marge. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Don't take the pills. Not med advice, sort of. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think of it as medical advice. I think of it as a divine affirmation. Beautiful cat, Stanley. Yeah, he's so cool. He's like, he likes being an only cat. He really does. He really likes being, and we had so many cats over there. And then, he's been around, and he likes, and today he was laying down, and he was being so affectionate during, like, my meditate. I'm like, what, are you a Gemini? Because the moon is full in Gemini, right? It's so full of Gemini. And I was having a conversation with my friend a little while ago, and I was talking about, I said, I know my placements. But I get so busy in life, I don't sit there and I listen to conversations that astrologers have all over YouTube. This is their take on their frame of reference from all of the things that they've interpreted from what they've learned in their life. Okay, I take my interpretations, I listen to theirs, and I get an idea about how people are going to behave. You know. A good idea based on where their heart is directed towards spirit or towards themselves at their ego. And so it occurred to me, because I've been just very squirrely and just like, I mean, as you could see in my video last night, that was like pretty much a personification of my placements and what these energies bring out. And understanding how energy works, see, people they feel some kind of way, and then they think, I'm never going to not feel this way ever again. And then they can't imagine feeling any different way, and then they make rash choices, and it costs them their lives. They lose their soul. So, my Mars and Saturn are both in Gemini and Gemini. And so today is a much better day. And I think the full moon is coming. It's like 8 o'clock or something. I can't remember, Eastern, Western. I listen to so much stuff. It's wild. But, and I listen to Vedic too. And see, because in Vedic, my rising sign is Gemini. So, we're full. That's a full spectrum sign. So the broader the spectrum sign, because I think I look at like some signs as more broad, limited in scope. But they're very good at what they do, like the Capricorns and the Virgos. Like they have, they're but there's some side that are like the dual Gemini's, the two, you got light, dark, back to light again. It's a very broad spectrum. Pisces is also a broad spectrum sign because it encompasses the energies of all the signs. Aquarius, I recognize to be a very broad spectrum sign. I think Leos are pretty focused in what they do. It's more narrow of scope. It's the first time the heater turned on. Anyway, so I do feel better today. There's always a new day.
That's good.
Well, even when the sun goes out and freaking doesn't control alt delete, we get that blast. It'll go out, but I mean, it'll still, people will still wake up. It might be dark, but they'll still wake up. People will still go on. People will still, the human spirit wants to survive. The spirit does. The ego wants to freaking take itself out. I had a nice conversation. I had a good day. It was a good day. I started because I got back into service. When I'm thinking too much about me and all the things that are making me sad or mad or, this ticks me off or yada, yada, yada. I'm thinking too much about me. I got to go do stuff for other people. And there's a big need in Taos, man. There's an animal freaking problem here. And I need to go talk to the guy at the shelter because I got some solutions. And maybe we can throw some ideas around. Brainstorm a little bit. And so they posted on a local shelter. It's like the only it's the town shelter here, and it's not it's a no kill shelter, and they're over dogs, cats. It's a problem here because the spay and neuter is a problem here. So you fix the spay and neuter, and the mentality it goes along to freaking letting your dog keep his nuts. It's healthier for him to be freaking spayed and neutered. It's it's just, there's plenty of okay, I shouldn't have got started. So they put out a post last night on Facebook with the need of food because they're out of their donation food or whatever for the end of the year till the I don't know what new fiscal. I don't think they go by fiscal year. My mind's stuck in military. For a minute there, but so I was like, okay, I'll go to Tractor Supply. I'll get a couple because they had like a couple drop-off places that you could get, and so I got a couple 44-pound bags of cat food for the cat shelter, and then they had, I don't know, 7 or 8 bags at the Tractor Supply place that other people bought for the same reason. I should have just, hey, I'm going over there. You want me to take this stuff too? But I don't know. People are funny. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe next time. So I took the cat food over there, and when I pulled in, there was a couple guys. They had this dog. It was so beautiful. Oh my God, this dog. I don't even know. I didn't hear what kind it was. It was, and it just had the most soulful eyes. And he was so calm. It was just, I don't know, they were working with it in some capacity. One was a volunteer, one was an employee, and they're like, hey, just pull over there, if you can drop it off by the front. I said, I got no aversion to a little physical exercise. And the one guy was big as a big guy. And so I freaking walked it out, and I walked the one bag over and the other one over, and just left it at the front door because it was closed for volunteer training or something, or it had been, and they just opened it. I don't know. I don't care. I had other things to do. So I went on around my day after I went and got my blood draw today at the BA. I think I still got the arm thing. It was so sweet because, I don't know, nothing is consistent. There is no consistent. And last night or the day before, I did get an automated message, but no phone call from the clinic reminding me. And then yesterday, I got a phone call at 4:30 reminding me for my lab work this morning. And then they changed my appointment up from being out on the 15th till tomorrow. I wonder if they watch my videos. And the lady that called today to remind me about my phone appointment tomorrow, she's like, "Oh, it was so nice to see you today. I remember you from Taos Chiropractic. I worked over there." And then I saw you, and I was like, "I know her." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I recognized you, too. I just couldn't remember from where because I was here I'd been here like 4 months ago, and she wasn't there then." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm all about health, and I'm really trying to stay away from those wacky pills they give you." She's like, "Well, yep." And so she's like, "Me, too." So that was cool. And then, yeah, they gave me a mask, and it was a mask, and then it had a visor, and I wear glasses. So it's like, I'm like, "No, I'm not. I can't." And then the doctor walked out, and he didn't have one. I'm like, "The doctor's not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not wearing it." I said, "I'll be outside. I'll be out the front door. I'll just keep an eye in here. You guys wave me in. Just wave me in." Because there was 2 other people in the lobby, and freaking old and sickly, They just don't, people don't take care, because they don't take care of themselves? Because they eat whatever they want, they never exercise, they're fucking gluttons, they're greedy pigs? Oh, yeah, it's sad. It's most of the world. Anyway. So, good girl, Lou. Good girl, pretty girl. What are you doing? Hey, wait a minute. Do I gotta retract that statement? Get out of there. Kick rocks, little bits. You guys are so ornery. As soon as I get on the talking, you get on the walking. So what else happened? So that after I left there, then there was 2 other incidents recently. You want up there? Want me to help you? Are you in the mood? You want up here? She's good girl. Oh, good girl. There was a mom that was having a mom dog that had a stillborn at like 3:30 a.m. and this was like 5 o'clock the next evening on a Sunday, and the person was writing an ad, and like the vet wanted $1,000 for an emergency to come in to take care of to help have a C-section for the dog, because it wasn't going good. And so they took him to the vet where I take my dogs. There's only like 2 vets in this town. There's no aftercare. There's no weekend vet. There's no closest emergency vet's Albuquerque. It's a real problem. The cost is just freaking outrageous. Oh my God, the cost. Anyway, I digress. So, and there was also another post for another dog, a beautiful pit dog that the initial report was they thought it got attacked by a bear because it had a big old gash in its leg. And then later they determined that it was more because I stopped by on the way home to contribute to one of the, the universe blesses me, I pay it forward. I give what aside from what we pay for our bills, whatever the universe blesses, I got all kinds of ways to make people happy and feel good in life, and it doesn't require freaking hard drugs or alcohol. Just freaking requires a little good orderly direction, and just doing for people things that you'd freaking want to have done for you if you were in their situation. It's as simple as that. And it makes people feel good, but so many people are stuck in the self-care and do whatever they want. That's what pieces. You're constantly doing stuff for yourself. You probably feel like a piece of shit. To feel good, you got to give it away. You ain't gonna take this stuff with you when you die. Give with the warm hands. Warm heart. Give while you can. So and teach people how to do it so they can do it. And yeah, it just works. So I stopped by the vet, and I got to bring them some holiday cookies. They like my holiday cookies. I got to get some special. I'll go in the next few days. I don't know when. Because I like to get like the Hershey's Kisses. They have the holiday flavors. It's like some of them are sugar cookies. I personally like the peppermint ones, but I think it would be good if they had like a hot cocoa and a peppermint. I bash them up in a bag in my hammer, and then I put them in my cookies to make holiday cookies. They're freaking, they're good in every way. So they make people happy. So I stopped in at the vet. I didn't have a lot today. I just, I asked them about the pity. They still had the pity, and then that's when they said it was more in line with being hit by a car. So they unfortunately had to euthanize it because the pelvis and it was shattered. It was too much damage. Cost was too much. They'd have to take it to Albuquerque. It was a terrible situation. It died loved. That's what we're supposed to do. Just let them die. Everything just deserves to be able to just leave this earth being loved by something. Everything. Everyone. So, anyway, but I think that they did have, and I guess they do have a fund for that. So I said, we'll just drop it in that bucket, put it wherever you need it here. And they're very gracious. They were grateful for that, So that's the thing, is when I get some, I give it, and I do it when I can. So sometimes I do it too much, and like later I'm like, Marge, why did you do that? That was a little excess, Marge, but it's I don't got earth placements in my charts, but money's isn't. I don't. I always pay our bills. Mom is like, we've gone without food oftentimes on a lot of holidays. When everybody else is stuffing their face, we're eating turkey pot pies, stuff like that. But so I mean, I don't know. I've always lived a different version than a lot of other people. So, funny story. I'm wearing I was telling Mom the story. This is only the second time I've ever worn this hoodie. Now, I can't stand football. I can't stand sports. I can't. It's all. I watch too much Zachary K. Hubbard. With the whole. I'm like, yeah. And I know people that they have the minds that they could be the ones writing the script. They very well could be. I know people like that. You give them a date and they'll tell you the day of the week it is. I know people like that. So I was thinking about it today. I was listening to Ben Davidson's talk today's disaster question and answer session, and he was talking about he's a speed reader. And I was like, okay, I get. And I always understood you just look down the middle of the page and you can see both so I get the concept. I believe that if I get into the head space, if I get into the heart space, if I watch some interviews, if I know, if I find out what the author's about, I pretty much get the gist of their story that they've written without even having to read it. And then I could skim through it and be like, yep. Okay, all right. Reading takes too much time. I'm a believer in osmosis. If you tune in and dial in, and there's only so many stories, and so many stories have just been rewritten with little sways and clicks and notches that are different, So anyway, about this sweatshirt, I can't stand anything sports related. It's all a freaking misappropriation of funds as far as I'm concerned. It's all stupid. It's a time suck. It's energy rituals. It's all ridiculous. That being said, I know a lot of people that I care about quite a bit that love them. and that love sports, and that love, they have love for their camaraderie, for whatever. I just see one game that's played back and forth for all time. It's just oh my god. Anyway, so I think I was thinking about it, I'm like, because he was talking about he's got a good memory, but there's people that, I don't know, that could like, that have better memories, and he explains it. Go watch his talk, he'll tell you. It's only like a 5-6 minute talk. So I don't have that kind of good memory that I can remember the words that he was saying. But I do remember that it was probably like May 3rd, somewhere around 2010. The day that I got this sweatshirt. And it was the first time I ever went morel hunting. Morel mushrooms. And I went with my friend Malls and Gavin. And we went out hunting, and I had a t-shirt on, and he had a cabin out in freaking Nebraska. Everybody had cabins, they took off on the weekend. I'm going out to the cabin. We're going to do some fishing on the lake at the cabin. I mean, so many people had lakeside stuff. I mean, and then it's so weird because I was so immersed in that world, and then I was thrown into this, I'm like, well shit, now I need shit. Now I need help, And if you ain't in the club, you're out of the club, and it makes things harder. And then that's where I started seeing all of the deficits in the systems, and how systems are designed to pay the employees and say things like, we're here to help, but their systems are so fallible, nobody ever gets helped. But they still get paid. Anyway, so I was in a t-shirt. And it was like evening time kind of thing, and we were traipsing through, and before we left, I was like, she's like, she just came from thrift store shopping and bought this hoodie, and I was asked her if I could borrow it to keep the ticks off, because there's ticks everywhere. I still ended up with 3 on me. That was the only time I ever. Life is so funny. It's like I could see it in the Akashic Record Room library. You have all these life experiences, and they're just written out like a sushi menu. And somewhere on there I had, I'm going to have ticks on me. I'm going to have a tick attack. Let me notch off the tick attack there. The spirit, what it does, it's goofy. So, and then I wore it home because it was turning evening, and we hung out for a while at the cabin, but I had to, and it was chilly, so she just let me have it. And then she's like, you can keep it. And this is the only thing Nebraska I have. I got invited by a woman named Peg Martin, who was the wife of, Dick Martin passed on. But, she invited me to a Husker game, and I was like, nah, thanks, that's cool. I don't really like football. And ever since, it's like, you turned down Peg to go to a Husker game? I lived there 15 years. I never once went to a Husker game. I got invited to go when, like, the top 10 championship was in Kansas City. I got invited to go to that. I'm like, nah. Standing out in the freezing ass cold with a bunch of freaking drunk people. No. The drive down, because I picture myself, I can run through situations in my mind. I don't have to do them. So I opted out on that one. But so this is only the second time, first time on any of the videos because the backgrounds always change. That's how I know that life is changing, is that people's background things evolve. They're supposed to evolve. I don't understand how people can be in the same place for so long. I've longed to do that. I just don't understand how they do it. As much as I've longed to be that person, to have roots, to have community, I feel like I'm kind of getting it here. I mean, after the conversation with the lady that's saying how happy she was to see me again, because she doesn't work at the place, and I don't go to the place where she worked before. And then I ran into a nice guy named Buddy. an older man. He must have been, I don't know, in his 70s. He was filling up water jugs. He's like, he offered to share his water space because there's 2 spouts. I said, no. I said, that's quite all right. I said, it's a nice day. I said, I happen to have a couple virtues left. And one of them's patience. Haven't been very good at it, but it's taken me a lot of years. But I think I'm getting a handle on it. He's like, and he just started, he was like, she's a talker. And he just started in and started sharing with me. And he just got back from Texas. And he just met 4 granddaughters or grandchildren. I can't remember if they were all granddaughters that he didn't know he had. And I said, I just recently came in contact with a couple nieces. I knew I had them. I just, one of them. I need to give Faith a call. But so many people are just like, if something is out of their radar, if out of their reach, it's out of their lives. It really, out of sight, out of mind is really prominent. Because some people, their lives are so big where they're at, all they can focus is on what they're doing or anything outside that. That's why I've always been an outsider, because I ain't been related to much. And the ones I have didn't really like me a whole lot to begin with. It's just how it is. And so, buddy, I gave him some salad. That's what I call it when I have like a little bag of weed and it's all mixed up. I call it salad. So I gave him some salad, and he was like, "You're a good spirit." He looked at me. He's like, he's like, "You're a good spirit." I said, "I'm Heyoka." And he's like, "Yeah." I said, I know what I just like to make people happy. Yeah. And without any drugs or alcohol. You don't even need it. Weed ain't a drug. I'll argue that all day long. And I helped him with his water jugs, load up in the truck, and then he came over and stood with me while I filled up my containers, my 11 gallons. And he's like, I'm just going to talk to you while you fill. I said, good. I welcome the conversation, And he showed me his truck. It's a beautiful truck. It's like probably, I don't know, 70. I don't know. I'm bad about years and stuff like that. I was kind of busy instead of paying attention to that. But it was in its 70s, maybe 76. I recognize it. I'll see it around town. He lives out in TP.
Where's TP?
Tres Pedros, out on the mesa. And
out in the country?
Yeah, out in the country. And he has a neighbor that did 5 years and did it as soon as 9/11. That's what they do. They create these incidents. Oh, you gotta love your country if be a patriot, patriotic, blah blah blah. Then they freaking knock down our own towers. So all these people just felt compelled to go sign up and give their lives to, because you ain't never the same. You're never the same again. I'm never the same again. Witnessing what I witnessed. Just the misappropriation of funds, just the fact, because once you go over there, that's what happens is we see we're killing people for no reason, so a bunch of rich people can get richer. That is all war is. There's no freedom involved. There's no liberty. It's us wanting some shit that we're bullies. We want shit what you got, so we're going to fucking come in and wipe you out, and we're taking it. But the thing of it is, America's military today, readiness is shit. The numbers of enlistment aren't what they used to be. The people that I went in 2000, when I went in from 2000 to 2006, those people are all retired and stuff. Now the people that are coming up behind them, people are... most of the time, the real military is most of the time people are at appointments. Everybody always has an appointment, so they're missing work all the time. People are skipping out, So the person, work isn't getting done. You don't get the resources you need because they're too busy making multi-billion-dollar freaking buildings that look cute for their pony show. See, they spend money on the aesthetics, and they invent things and pay top dollar to for these killing machines, so we can send it to we can sell it to other countries so they can it's all crap. All the parades go with it. It's all crap. Everything related to it is crap. When there's so many people in this country that need freaking socks and dental care and to be warm at night and have a a place where they can just be without having to think that their impending doom is always happening, because there's a lot of people. That's why people do drugs and drink, is because they're scared all the time and they're trying to escape the fear that they're experiencing constantly. What if society helped nourish those souls? I know people cannot want to drink. It was great. I stopped through the park today. It was the Wednesday guys were there. They made potato soup with celery and carrots all mashed up. It was pretty good. Had a little coconut milk in there. Some broth, I think he said, vegetable broth. It was good. I just had a little bite because my labs were fasting labs, and my appointment wasn't until, I got in it right when I got there, pretty much 10:30. It wasn't until 10:45, so I was hungry. So it was cool that it was Wednesday soup day at the park, because these couple guys come out and feed the people that live on the mesa that come in during the day and they hang out. There's a lot of people that just come and hang out at the park. I don't know. There's plenty of work to be done, but I guess hang out at the park. But I like to stop through and see who's there every now and again. And my buddy Augustine found his wallet. Here's a good story. Dude's like 53. He just turned 54. He's another Virgo. It's like hanging out with my sister. And I know it sounds weird because they don't look anything alike. She was a blonde bombshell. And let's see, I know I have a picture of her. I thought it was there. I haven't felt like taking pictures very much lately. I'm not in a very picture-y mood. But Jessica, my sister, she died September 23rd this year. And my buddy Augustine, who I'm about to tell this story about. This is Jessica. They have the same birthday. Does she look like me? She's 9 years younger than me. I don't get the nose. I know that aliens have taken over. If you ever see me with the nose, because I'm not that. That ain't me. That ain't me. Anyway, I don't know. I had my ears pierced, but I think they closed up. I could read. Anyway, so they have the same birthday, so it's like kind of being around her. Even though they're like nothing alike. He's an Indian guy. 53. His hair, I would love to see his hair down. He always has his hair up, and he has a big bun, So his hair, I know his hair goes down his back. So he, Thanksgiving, he works at the laundromat. It so cracks me up, man. And that makes me think of Pam, my friend that worked at the laundromat in Oregon, the only friend I had. It's like I end up with laundromat people. It's great because it's a great place to meet people, I guess. There's all kinds. You get a clientele. Are people getting nutty? He said one of the employees, he keeps finding these little liquor bottles, and I'm like, that adds up with the astrology, because people are really in their addictions right now. They're really trying to escape some shit right now. So, yeah. So he's like, I guess they told her she was supposed to stop. See, that's a conversation that Buddy and I had at the water house today. He said we've talked about that. Me and that guy, because he was talking about his neighbor who went to Iraq 5 times, and he came back, and that's what he tells people too. He says the same stuff I said, is that we go over there, we kill people that don't need to die they're defending their land. We're going over there killing them. They're defending them, so they're dying The fathers of the children in these countries and mother and all these people are dying. Babies, all of them are dying. So rich people can get rich, and then we celebrate it, and it's freaking disgusting and gross. So his medicine is booze. And he puts it down, and I guess he's native too, the young man. And I said, that's what it does. Alcohol, it takes our spirit. It takes our spirit, our breath. Our breath, that is what animates us. That's what makes us human being. That's what gives us life, is our breath and our electricity. And it messes with your body's frequency. And it puts your headspace in places that people don't want to go, or that they do want to go, but shouldn't go. It gives people a lot of permission to do a lot of things. A lot of things they shouldn't be doing and never should have done. So, and then when their spirit is gone, because it literally removes the oxygen from your blood and replaces it with alcohol. Literally. It's a literal thing. That's why they do blood alcohol test, to see the ratio of how much alcohol is in your blood compared to oxygen. That's how you get the percentage. I had one, it was 0.24, and another one, the other one was 0.22, I think. The one one was when I was in the military. I didn't get kicked out. I was the last person in my duty station that didn't get kicked out, or in my work center. Everybody else after that, we're done. I don't know why I didn't. God's grace is just always taking care of me, I guess. I didn't even get sober until like 7 months later. But and then, so once the oxygen is removed, once here comes your ego. It allows the ego to come in. See, and I like the acronym easing God out. I told the guy the man he gave me I told Buddy he gave me a high five. Yeah, it was he was like, he'd never heard it before. And he was like, oh, like, that's a good one, And these are the exchanges that I have at the Waterhouse. I have the stories. I mean, life happens everywhere if you're willing to let it, And this is the stuff when I get in headspaces last night, like I was in last night, and I was just all scattered and everything sucks, and I was just full of fear. And I did listen, because I listen to a lot of people on YouTube that I don't like. Like, we could not hang out and we're not going to be friends. But this one kid, he's a Leo. And the Leo in me recognizes the Leo in him. And I'm just going to say that. Cubs will never be kings. He's got a lot of good info. I give him that. He's a brilliant kid. As far as astrology, I appreciate his interpretations on a lot of things. And I was listening to one of his talks today, because he was doing he had some good stuff out there, and it's cool because I could just, I just put people's talks on, and I just clean the house and, do things while I'm listening to stuff. I'll even listen to stuff while I'm sitting here watching TV. I'll just listen to stuff constantly. And he had this, and then that's what they do, is they give you this really good content, and then it's the kid catcher on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then they say, okay, come over to my website and pay for all of this wonderful content. Come pay for it. Money's not real, but I got a studio and a big stupid truck and freaking fifth wheels and, sponsor, just 3D. How many people you put in homes? I'm just curious. I'd like to know. What kind of charity you do? You stop over and help old ladies freaking change their tires? I don't hear those stories. Maybe they, But those, I like hearing those stories. I don't think it's people like gloating or anything, because I think most of the world doesn't know how to be generous. Like, they don't do things to help other people because they can't come up with like clever ways to do it. My buddy, I didn't do that this year. And it's not winter yet. It's not winter yet, technically December 20th. So, but my buddy, Carl, reminded me of that, because he told me, he just yesterday, he made a comment about how he told somebody in his cab, because during the winter, a thing that people can do that have so much extra abundance and have been so blessed by the universe with all of their riches and blah. You know? You can go down to your local parts store, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever, and freaking buy batteries, car batteries, because they're freaking, it's ridiculous how much batteries cost. They're like $180 now. They used to be like 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. And then they creeped up to, now they're 100. Now they're like it's ridiculous. And you got single moms, and you got veterans and stuff, and you got people that are on fixed incomes, and they're just trying to freaking, and they don't drive much anyway because gas is so expensive, and with their fixed incomes, and they're already sharing cat food with their cat as it is because food's gone up. So with the car situation, you know, with batteries, they lose a battery. It's just like then they don't got no car no more because of a battery. So something I like to do is I'll go down to the parts store and I'll buy a battery, and I just give it to the next single mom or the next veteran that comes in. You know, don't give it to the fucking rancher, your buddy, that fucking has a fleet, you know. Don't give it to the people that already have all the favors. I hate that. Oh my God, it's just sucking up. People sucking up. Anyway, I think I've ran my mouth long enough. God, I've been going almost an hour. Well, thank you, Ma. The Gemini. How long have I been going? 48 minutes. Yep, I'm done. Is there anything you want to say, Ma? Want to add to the conversation?
You're a good speaker.
Thanks, Ma. It was the speech class. You know the best thing I got out of speech class? I took it on base at Offutt Air Force Base. They had, because that's, you know, yeah, the university down the street, but you got to make it as convenient for people as possible. That's so weird about being, you know, growing up so poor and then being in the biggest club in the world with the greatest perks and then going back to being the bottom. It's weird. Or not the bottom, but I ain't buying no property today. No property buying today. That'd be rad. Oh my God, I would love that. But anyway, so I'll put it out there though. If it's supposed to, I'm gonna buy a couple lottery tickets. I'll buy a couple and put it out there. I'm supposed to, you know. Then if I get an opportunity, I'll definitely take it. Just moving from Oregon or Omaha to Oregon, my credit took a hit. Had a car repoed, stuff like that. But at least when they took it, it was nice and clean. I knew they were coming. I made it nice and clean for them. It's ready for you. I only owed like $1,600 on it. I had like 4 months left or something of payments. I didn't know it was so little. I didn't have anybody to borrow for nothing from, and I don't. It's just weird. I don't know. That's why I help people, because I've gone through life and I haven't had people that have helped me. I do now. That was then. This is now. Things are different. Things are better.